Do your partners get to tell you what you can and can't do with your paid time off? And is it okay to deny holiday plans with them when you just want some rest? Spicy questions, even spicier stories on today's episode. G'day there guys, it's your main man Markee, and welcome back to another episode of r/AmITheA. Now, if you love today's bloody good content, I want you to smack that like button. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode. Let's go. Am I the arsehole for refusing to do anything that my girlfriend wanted me to do during my 2 weeks off work? I, 29 male, have lived with my girlfriend, 32 female, for just under a year. We've been seeing each other for 3 years and change. Recently, I earned a promotion at my work. I've worked my butt off for this promotion for several years and have barely taken any time off during that duration. When I found out about my promotion, and that they wouldn't actually need me for my new role for about a month, I decided to finally cash in some of my paid time off and take off 10 days, 14 total from work, in between my old role and my new role. When my girlfriend found out about this, she decided to go ahead and put in for the first week of my time off from her job as well, which she was granted. When I found out about this, I told her, "Look, I'm glad to be able to spend some time with you, but I just want to hang out and do nothing with my 2 weeks off. Just watch some Netflix or whatever." However, she bought paint and painting supplies for us to work on the guest room together. She also planned for us to go to her parents' cabin up north on a lake for a few days before she had to go back to work. The first week off of our vacation is coming up this week. When I found out about her plans, I told her, "No. I told you that I didn't want to do anything with my 2 weeks off. Stop trying to hijack my time off." She got very upset and said that time off together will be hard to come by for several years, and that I was being selfish, especially since she was only asking me to spend one of my weeks off with her and leaving me completely free for my second. I think that she was wrong to try to take over my days off like this, especially after I told her that I just wanted to use them to relax and do what I wanted. She thinks that I have 2 whole weeks off, and that I should give her one of them since we're a couple. Am I the arsehole? Now in the comments, everyone sucks here. Her for not respecting your boundaries, and you for not trying to find a compromise or a middle ground. The lake house sounds quiet, relaxing, and considerate. Are you sure you even want to be with her? If I were you, I wouldn't be surprised but worried when she no longer wants to hijack your time to spend quality time with you. Girlfriend, why would I want to go up to a cabin that's paid for to relax with you when I can watch The Office for the 45th and the 46th time in the next 2 weeks? Counterpoint from someone who works a very high-stress job and has gone long stretches of time without a vacation. When you work yourself to the brink of burnout, even if you don't acknowledge it as such, I think it's very normal to not want to do anything. OP didn't say how far the cabin is, but I've definitely been at the point where, when I did get time off, the idea of sitting in a car or getting in a plane just seemed unbearable, and all I wanted to do was mindlessly play video games and watch TV without any accountability to my clients or colleagues. I think the girlfriend is, frankly, in the wrong here. You can't unilaterally decide how someone else spends their vacation days, even if you live with them. When OP communicated what he wanted to do, his girlfriend could have suggested those plans, but should respect that OP isn't interested. The compromise would be a staycation, not guilting him to travel when he doesn't want to. Not the arsehole. Everyone sucks here, but potentially you're the arsehole. From your post, neither of you are compromising and both of you are being self-centered. I think you both need to sit down and decide what you actually want, and how much you want it, and what compromises you're prepared to make it work. Relationships require compromise. It doesn't sound like you in particular think in terms of we. It sounds like you only think in terms of I. I don't know about your girlfriend because we only have your side. From your side, it is summed up in this sentence. I told her that I just wanted to use them to relax and do what I wanted. If you didn't want to spend time with your girlfriend, you should have told her not to book time off or cancel it. Let's remember that your girlfriend has made sacrifices for your promotion too. All the time you could have spent doing new couple things, but you were working instead. It is not just you that has sacrificed time. You want to veg out, your girlfriend wants some of the time that you spent together to be productive or quality. Here's a clue for you. Spending time vegging out in front of Netflix is not considered quality time spent together by most women. She thinks that I have 2 whole weeks off and I should give her one of them since we're a couple. She's not asking you to give her one of your weeks off. She's asking you to share one of your weeks and give it to your relationship, which to be fair sounds like it has been playing second fiddle to your job for years. If you want to keep this relationship, you will need to learn to compromise and invest in your relationship, or you may find that you can do exactly as you like because you won't have a girlfriend to compromise with because she will have gone off to find someone who actually does want to spend time with her. Our next post is titled, "Am I the asshole for getting mad at a guy for sending my girlfriend $500 flowers for her birthday? I know for a fact he's just a friend, so no comments about that, I'm sure. The point is something else. I'm upset because they're better flowers than I can afford for her birthday, so anything I get her will be a pity. She posted it on Instagram for everybody to see, and she's just going to tell people they're from me and have me lie if somebody asks. They're roses too, and she picked the color ahead of time so she knew they were coming. He runs a flower store, so he was able to get them cheaper than normal, which is why she said this is normal. I got extremely jealous and was about to message him telling him, hey, I respect your friendship, but this is too much. My girlfriend stopped me and asked if I was crazy. My problem is with her, not with him if I don't like it. Am I the asshole? Edit. The market value is over $1,000, and I was being very generous to him. He's not a florist, but a married multi-millionaire who's just a partner in the business that sells these flowers. Now in the comments, you're the asshole. So the issue isn't that he got her flowers, but that they're more expensive than you can afford. Who gives a crap? Buy something that you know she'll like. A gift isn't about the cost, it's about the thought put into it, and if you continue to compare dollar amounts, you're always going to find someone who can afford more than you. The guy knows what he's doing. OP knows what this guy is doing. The guys reading this thread know what he's doing. He wants to get into OP's girlfriend's pants. That's what he's thinking. You're either incredibly naive to think that he's sending that many roses to a woman because they're just friends, or you are maliciously gaslighting OP into thinking that he should be okay with this. Not the asshole. The top level comments in this thread are utter garbage. OP, keep this guy at an arm's length. Roses are a romantic gift in most parts of the world. He's trying to woo her. I think everyone can relate to your feelings here. This is a pretty ostentatious gift. $500 of roses must be like 12 dozen or more. Why would someone even want that many flowers? And even if you're sure of her feelings, are you sure of his? Just take comfort in the fact that they'll all be dead in a week, but your gift will live on. Not the asshole. I'm so confused as to why all the top comments suggested that you're the asshole. In what world is it at all appropriate to buy someone flowers like that when they aren't in a relationship with that person? If this guy was an actual friend and wanted your girlfriend to receive a beautiful gift of flowers, couldn't he have offered you the deal that he got? But no. Instead, he sends this insanely extravagant and, not to mention, universally romantic gift to a friend. Yeah, nah. This isn't a question of jealousy or not having a good enough job or being uncomfortable with friends buying friends gifts. This is a question of being respectful of a relationship. And that friend was not being respectful of your and your girlfriend's relationship. End of story. Not the asshole. Side note, and truth be told, good for your girlfriend for lying about who sent them. At least lying to family. As for SM, she could have just not posted anything. I know, gasp! So she sort of sucks here. Maybe she needs to work on having more respect for her own relationship, or rethink it. And OP replies, thanks. I now know that I overreacted and feel bad about it, but couldn't agree with you more on these points. And now back to the post. Edit. Very interesting mixes of responses here. Fully admit I'm the asshole for wanting to message him, but very surprised at how many people think it's okay for a man, Married but flexible, forgot to include that context, to send over $1,000 worth of roses to another man's girlfriend. Also surprised at how few people think that roses are a romantic gift. You all grew up in a different world than I did. Appreciate the kind and understanding people here, as these things aren't easy. Already resolved it by apologizing for trying to text him, but told her I still think that it's an inappropriate gift. Thanks all. Our next post is titled, Am I the asshole for refusing to let my wife name our daughter Ever Winter Rain? So my wife, 35 female, and I, 36 male, are expecting a daughter. We already have a son who is 2 years old. Our agreement was that I got to name the first baby, and she got to name the second baby. She didn't have any strong opinions or preferences with regards to naming our son, so I went with what I thought was a strong, somewhat unique name, but that could just as easily suit a musician as a lawyer or doctor. I picked the name Calvin Heath, the middle name after my brother who unfortunately passed away, and my wife was fine with it. My wife told me that she wants to name our daughter Ever Winter Rain, where Ever is the first name and Winter Rain is the middle name. I don't think this is a good name and that it isn't fair to our daughter because Ever is a word, and I don't think it passes the Supreme Court Justice test. It doesn't sound professional, it's confusing because it's a word, and I don't think that it would suit her into adulthood. I suggested Winter is the first name with a more normal middle name like Emma, so she has options, but my wife refused. But our agreement was that she got to pick the name. Am I the asshole if I refuse and don't sign the birth certificate if she wants to name her Ever? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I might be the asshole because our agreement was that I get to name the first kid and she gets to name the second kid unequivocally. So it's an asshole move maybe if I break that agreement, even if it is in the best interests of our daughter. Now in the comments, I'm gonna go with not the asshole here, just because your wife sucks at naming things. I'm assuming the agreement was choosing the name within reason. That name is dignifiedly hot trash. Actually, I disagree and go with everyone sucks here. It's a unique name, but OP and his wife both agreed that he would name the first and she would name the second. That was their first mistake. Both parents should have input on children's names. I completely see OP's point, but per his agreement, his wife is also justified. Could they possibly compromise to Eve or something? And edit, overall, I've changed my judgment to not the asshole for attempting to push back against Ever Winter Rain, because it indeed sounds like a new Taylor Swift track, and no kid should have to bear that name forever. Everyone sucks here. Why in the world did you make such an agreement? You could have built in a veto clause, or made certain minimum requirements, but you didn't. You are an asshole for wanting to go back on the arrangement now that it doesn't suit you. But who thinks of such a ridiculous name? Does she want the kid to have to explain and spell her name every single time she does anything or meets anyone? Well, because you don't expect your spouse to lose all their marbles? Who the hell anticipates Ever Winter Rain? Pregnancy makes the head spin in crazy directions. I almost jumped out of the car when my boyfriend said that I couldn't name our kid Arwen. Pregnancy does weird things. Not the asshole. That child has to live with that name. My mother named me Shad. I got 2 reactions. Your name is Shade? Shed? Oh crap. Or is it Shad like the fish? Life is hard enough without having a stupid effing name. Imagine the terrible things people would do to her and say to her about that name. And OP replies, that's my opinion too. Winter or Everly or even Rain would not be my first choices, but I think any of those options would be better than Ever for a first name. I don't want her to be bullied. Could be worse. I met an Emily spelled M-L-E. And OP says, okay, I'm not actually going to refuse to sign the birth certificate over this, but I'm going to try to sell her on the name Everly Winter Rain instead. And I guess that finishes that little story for you guys. And our next post is titled, Am I the arsehole for telling my roommate that his comments about my drinking aren't welcome? So I, 20 male, am in college and live with 4 other guys in an on-campus apartment. Besides one other issue, see last post. Okay, I'll check that really quick. I'll see what that post is. The post is titled, Am I the arsehole for asking my roommate's friend to leave when he was no longer home? And the gist of that matter was, I might be the arsehole because I kicked my roommate's friend out and didn't text him to ask him to come back. Alright, that seems a little bit inconsequential to me, but moving on. Besides one other issue, we get along okay, although I wouldn't call any of them my friends, as I largely keep to myself. However, one did something that really irritated me, and made it tense in the apartment. So most nights, like 5 or so nights a week, I like to drink. Usually it's Tito's, lemon juice and soda water, or Pink Whitney. I know I'll get made fun of, but trust me, it is good stuff. If it's Pink Whitney, I'll finish anywhere between half to 3/4 of the handle, around 750 milliliters. If it's Tito's, probably around 1/3 to half of a 750 milliliter handle in a night. I do this most nights, and I'll come in at around 8, take a shower, change, and sit down in front of the TV and watch whatever interests me, usually sports. Or if someone else is watching TV, I'll stream on my laptop and drink for a couple hours. I've been doing this since we moved in late August. I really like to drink. It helps me de-stress, and I feel like I get a better night's sleep when I do. I'm not belligerent or obnoxious when I drink. I largely sit in silence, besides maybe the odd comment on the game if someone else is watching with me. And to eliminate all property issues, I buy my own alcohol, and it's not communal. This has been my routine since my senior year in high school, and I see no reason to change it now. However, last night, one of my roommates confronted me and told me that I drink way too much and I need to stop. I told him that I'm an adult, he's not my parents, and I don't need to do anything. He says it's harmful for my mental health and it's concerning. Worst of all, he tried to embarrass me in front of my roommates by talking about this in front of them and looked to them for support. They were mainly like, shut the hell up dude, because we were trying to watch the Lions game. Without the support he was looking for, he retreated into silence. This kid is a hypocrite. I come back at 1 in the afternoon to warm up lunch, and he's playing video games. I take 6 classes and work as a student research assistant. I get good grades, and I'm in the upper 1/3 of my class. Drinking doesn't affect me at all, yet this kid who doesn't work hard wants to grandstand like he has the upper hand on me. Anyways, I haven't talked to him, and it's been awkward around the apartment since our argument. Am I the arsehole for fighting back when he tried to control my life? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the arsehole. 1. I argued back at my roommate and pretty much refuted everything he said. And 2. Even though I think it was moral grandstanding, it may have been him genuinely trying to look out for me. Now in the comments, yes, you're the arsehole. You're also a serious alcoholic, and I'm also very concerned for you. Good on him for expressing concern even though you aren't close. That's not easy to do. I'm willing to bet that he and other roommates talked about their concerns with your drinking, and the other ones just don't care. The defensiveness you're showing is not uncommon. I'm not judging you, and your roommate may not be either. He probably wasn't trying to embarrass you, the other roommates probably agree and just don't want to involve themselves. Edit. Furthermore, if he was trying to embarrass you, he would have brought up around people who don't live with you. Rest assured that the other people you live with are well aware of your alcoholism. They just would rather not say anything since they don't want to cause issues, even though saying something could help you. Also, it's possible that this particular roommate knows more about alcoholism than any of you guys, maybe due to personal experience with family or something. You were all very young, and when I was at that age, I didn't realize how detrimental alcoholism is, even if you are functional. Please seek help now before it's too late and you are 40 with dementia and liver failure. It's not pretty. And edit, I also feel like OP's claim that he and his roommate aren't really friends, just roommates, is a defense mechanism to justify why they shouldn't even be giving his drinking a second thought. Putting alcohol above relationships is a sign of alcoholism. Agree wholeheartedly. Sorry OP, but you clearly have a dependency on alcohol. I've read your other comments and I see you denying it, but it seems pretty obvious. Get help while you're young and before it causes too much damage. I'm sorry, and I'm sure it's hard to hear everyone calling you an alcoholic when you feel like you've found something that works for you. It helps your anxiety, lets you de-stress, and you get to succeed at your life instead of being overwhelmed all the time. It doesn't seem to cause you any problems, so people calling you an alcoholic are being dramatic and projecting, right? I get it. But you can't see the physical damage being caused to your internal organs. What you are doing is self-medicating, and I totally understand why you want to do it. It's working, you don't have to deal with the side effects. Yet. You will. And you don't have to deal with seeing a psychiatrist. But if you can't function due to your anxiety without drinking an extreme amount of alcohol, an amount that is seriously damaging your body and shortening your life, then you have an anxiety disorder of some kind. And this is not a long-term solution. You don't have to quit drinking right away. And consult a doctor before you do, because sudden withdrawal can be deadly. It doesn't matter that you only drink at night. But if your school provides access to therapists and psychiatrists, it's time to start looking for better solutions. That is, if you want to stay functional. Also, part of your extreme anxiety when you don't drink is from not drinking now that you are dependent. Like whiplash. Like how you'll get more congested than you'd otherwise be when you stop using decongestants after a while. The anxiety you feel when you don't drink is not the same level anxiety that you'd feel once your body adjusts to not drinking. The dependency tricks you into thinking that you need the alcohol more than you do. No assholes here. Anyway guys, I think that's where I'm going to end today's video. If you did like it, tell me what you thought about it down in the comments below, and make sure to just interact with everyone in this community. I love each and every one of you that I get to see on a daily basis. And don't forget, if you are a Patreon subscriber, I love you. You're on the screen right now with the YouTube members as well. If you see yourself, give yourself a pat in the back. You guys help me continue this YouTube journey. You keep me going. I see you guys everywhere. I see your messages, and thank you so much for supporting me. I really love every single one of you. But with that all said, I'm going to be signing off now, guys. I hope you have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.